I can save you time, money, and frustration with this hack for magnetic nail polish designs. Hello again! I'm back with a nail polish video this time, something I haven't done in a while. I got really excited to make this video after I discovered what works best for me when using magnetic nail polish. Magnetic nail polish is my favorite kind of specialty polish, but it also takes the most time and is the most expensive polish. Typically, magnetic polishes will require 3 thick coats, magnetized after every coat, and then a magnetic safe top coat, which also needs to be magnetized. If you're just doing the cat eye design with a bar magnet, you can achieve a crisp line pretty easily. But if you want to use those fancy nail magnets with designs on them, they can be pretty finicky. I've been looking online for a couple years now for cool nail polish magnets, and for me, I think the Ideal Swan nail magnet set from Amazon have the most fun designs. They look like this. A lot of the reviews say that only some of the magnets actually worked, and that the magnets aren't very strong, which is true of most nail magnets. But when I press a magnet up to the side of a magnetic nail polish bottle, I can see that the magnetic polish does move to the shape of the design. So why can't I get that same effect on my nails? Well, one reason is the curvature, or the C curve, of your nails. The more dramatic of a C curve you have, the harder it will be to magnetize a design on your nail in a crisp, even distribution. You might get a magnetized design in the middle, but not on the ends. This is what my thumb looks like when I applied magnetic nail polish traditionally and then just held the magnet over it as long as I could, over 60 seconds. And this is a full mani of mine a couple weeks ago where I did 2 magnetic coats and a magnetized top coat. You can see that the pigment is pretty spread out and not very clear. Another reason why the magnetic pigments won't really look that crisp is that you have to hold the magnet at a distance from your nail, but still close enough to actually get a clear design. This can lead to the magnet accidentally touching your wet polish, which means you have to start over. For bar magnets, people can typically just rest their finger over the magnet while painting it, and then the design will still show up. But these fancy design magnets are not strong enough to achieve those same results. If you have long enough nails, then you can take the free edge of your nail and rest it directly on top of the magnet, and then get a magnetized design on the top half of your nail. But for people with short nails, the magnets just don't work as well when your finger's in the way. And lastly, you need to hold a magnet to your nail for at least 60 seconds for each coat in order to get a crisp design that stays put. For my gel nail polish users, those of you who don't use regular lacquer magnetic polish, you might have noticed that using gel polish for magnetic designs provides a very crisp design that doesn't spread over time. It's kind of frozen in place, so day 7 of your magnetic mani will look the same as day 1. But for those of us who only use non-gel magnetic polish, the magnetic pigment starts to spread out by day 2. I've come up with what I think is the best way to apply and wear regular magnetic polish that will keep your magnetic pigment in place longer and save you time and money. So this may be advice that you've heard before, but I'm going to combine it with specific application techniques that have worked well for me. We're going to be painting magnetic polish directly onto the magnets and creating nail stickers that will give you those crisp magnetic designs that you're after. These are all the products I used to achieve this magnetic sticker manicure. For polishes, I started with a base coat from Color Club called the Pro-Reboot Nail Strengthening Base Coat, and then the Cirque Colors Dream Within a Dream Magnetic Polish, Cirque Colors New York Fashion Week, Cirque Colors Looking Glass Top Coat, and the Orly Seal-On Top Coat. And for tools, I used a polish cleanup brush from Mooncat, Acetone, Cuticle scissors, Tweezers, and the Ideal Swan nail magnets from Amazon. First, you're going to need a base coat, and you're going to paint that directly onto the magnet. I'm using the Color Club Pro-Reboot Nail Strengthening Base Coat because when I was doing some experimenting, this one ended up working really well to make nail stickers. You are going to need a base coat first because the magnetic polish alone will not peel off the same way. I have also tried this with peel-off base coats and found that they do not hold up well for this. By the way, has anyone heard about how Color Club went bankrupt recently? I was super surprised, and I read a really interesting post about it on Reddit, where they are still selling polish now, but it looks like they're trying to pay off some debt after they committed check fraud and then filed for bankruptcy. So maybe I'll have to use a different base coat someday. Now I'm going to use my magnetic polish over the dry base coat directly on the magnet. I'm using Cirque Color's Dream Within a Dream magnetic nail polish. Make sure to paint enough area on the magnet so that you have a big enough sticker to cover your entire nail. For people with really long nails, there's probably going to be some gaps. And when my nails get longer, I can make a video about how to put multiple of these stickers together to cover your whole nail. I'm only using one thick coat of magnetic polish. This will save you polish because typically when you're doing this, it's recommended to use 3 thick coats. But I think with just one, it looks great. Some people recommend using a base coat of color underneath a magnetic polish to avoid using so many coats, and that's also what we'll be doing here with New York Fashion Week in a second. Even with a base color though, you'll still need a thick application of magnetic polish just to get the most pigment on your nail. Now you need to wait for the magnetic coat to dry, and it's gonna be a while. I actually went to bed and let them all dry overnight because I started late at night and got tired of waiting. But I think in about 2 or 3 hours, these will be good. Now you can peel up the polish using tweezers carefully at a corner. Now you'll see that you have 2 sides of the nail sticker that you can use, and I recommend using the side that was facing the actual magnet as the side facing up on your nail. There's a big difference from that side to the other, and I love how the side that was touching the magnet looks on the nails. Now here comes the part where we actually attach the sticker to our nail. To prep my nails for this, all I did was paint Cirque Color's New York Fashion Week, and then I used this Orly top coat. The formula dries in this sort of rubbery finish that I think helps stick the nail sticker onto your nail, even though the polish is dry. And I did this to make sure that the polish was dry, but also because this Orly top coat has been my favorite recently in getting my nails to dry fast. This is not their second dry, quick dry top coat. This is their regular top coat. And I don't know why, but this one dries faster on my nails than the second dry. Now I'm placing the nail sticker in the direction I want with the design pretty side up. With nail scissors or with the pointy end of a nail file, I'm pressing hard enough on the sticker into the edges of my nail to cut into it. But be careful because you can rip a pretty messy line if you press too hard in the wrong spots. It's pretty easy to fit the sticker around your nail, especially if you cut it down a bit with nail scissors before pressing it down. Again, I didn't prep my base nail at all before sticking this on. This is dry. I did not want to do this over wet polish because every time I did, it just kind of messed up the sticker. Now I'm just trimming away the extra pieces with my cuticle scissors. There we go. Now just peel away the extra bits. Make sure when you're peeling the extra bits away though to do it kind of quickly because those bits can stick to the rest of the sticker really easily. Now I'm taking my polish cleanup brush and dipping it in acetone to clean up the edges of my nail sticker and melt the edges onto my nail. First I'll start at the cuticle and try to get a straight line. Now I'm going around the edges of the nail, and when I get to the free edge, I'm folding over the edges of the nail sticker and using the brush and acetone to melt them all together until they look like this. Now I'm going to use this Cirque Color's Looking Glass top coat over the nail sticker. This is kind of crazy, but you don't need to magnetize the polish again when you put the top coat on. That's because we're using the side with the base coat up, so all you really need to do is float the polish over the sticker and try to do as minimal brush strokes as possible to avoid pulling the magnetic pigment up. Some of the pigment might still spread, but it is very minimal compared to when you put on a magnetic safe top coat over a magnetic polish that has been applied regularly and not like a sticker. Remember to wrap the tip. And this is what the thumb looks like now that we've gone through the entire application process. Here you can really see the difference between application techniques. On the left, I use the regular application technique of multiple coats of magnetic polish plus a magnetized top coat, all while holding the magnet over the nail. And on the right, you can see the magnetic sticker application with the top coat. The difference is night and day. Now I'm going to finish my right hand with the sticker technique entirely, but my left hand will be a comparison between the two techniques. I'm using the same magnets each time, but different applications. So on my index finger and ring finger, I'm using the sticker application, and then on my middle finger, my pinky, and my thumb, I'm using the regular application of magnetizing coat by coat and holding the magnet over the nail. Can you see the difference? And that's it! I love how this application makes the magnetic design so prominent. It has saved me so much time and a heartache because of how hard it is for me to sit still in one place while waiting and hoping that I'm holding the magnet still enough over my nail for it to make a clean design. It's also less messy. I'm going to be trying this method with other magnetic nail polish brands and polishes, and I'll get back to you. But in the meantime, I hope if you do decide to try this out, you let me know how it worked for you. Some of you might remember my video on Cirque Colors' disappointing lucky bags, and part of the reason why I felt the need to make those videos is because of how much I love the Cirque Colors formulas. And I'd been buying them for a while before that. Thankfully, after that video and other customer complaints, it seems that their lucky bags have actually avoided the crazy number of duplicates that they once had, and I'm really happy about that. I really love the magnetic and jelly formulas from Cirque Colors, even though they are pretty expensive and the bottles are pretty small. Because magnetic polishes can be so finicky, I've actually tried a few different brands: Mooncat, Cirque Colors, and Holo Taco. And I'd like to try more in the future. But the combination of the Cirque magnetics with the looking glass top coat has been the most effective for me to have minimal magnetic pigment spreading. I also love that Cirque Colors magnetics will use duochrome or multichrome magnetic pigments in their polishes with a jelly base. I think they look really cool together. And I'm also someone that thinks that some formulas need a less is more approach. For example, there is a collection of Mooncat magnetic polishes that have these flakies in the base. And while they do look cool, I prefer the simple jelly base with magnetic pigment so that the pigment is the main focus. I am constantly looking for dupes of expensive polishes though, and would love to hear your suggestions for polishes similar to these. I am open to buying more in the future from them, but I'm still gonna shop around. It's just the best thing to do with a commodity as ubiquitous as nail polish anyway. And I have a TikTok where I compare colors and polishes a lot, mostly as a reference guide, and that's where I post how I feel about specific polishes. So, it's been over a year since I've bought from Cirque Colors, and in that time I've just been shopping my collection, using what I already have, which is always preferable to just kind of like collecting as much as possible. And it, helps me actually use the polishes that I have, because as much as I love nail polish, it's so easy to accumulate a bunch that you don't use. And I actually had to throw away one of my favorites recently because I didn't realize that it got down to halfway and then it dried out entirely. And it was the frosted metal formula. It was Fake Date from Holo Taco. Makes me so sad because they don't make it anymore. It was discontinued. So I'm looking for a dupe of that too. And I think ILNP might have some dupes that I'm going to be looking into. But those are my thoughts on that. Thank you for listening, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.